No, it didn't. Okay, thanks, Stream Deck. Cool, thanks, Stream Deck, for doing the thing you do. I touched it to unmute it, and I shocked the table.
Now, why would you put them on the coasters?
Thank you.
There we go. Okay. Oh. Did we do it?
I think this one's yours. So
you would be the one to know. Because you served
well,
them.
I couldn't tell.
You gotta look in the donut
I
hole.
tried. I couldn't tell.
They are no. Is it really a birthday if we don't make you say thermodynamics over and over? Also, Mal, can you try and mess him up? Thermodynamics. I'm trying to look in the hole. Thermodynamics. Thermodynamics. It's true. Oh, this one's white inside. It's not yellow. It's not for you. Thermodynamics. I think this is one from actually Friday. Grabobly, thank you. Hi everybody. Welcome to whatever day it is. Tuesday morning. Today we actually have Dunkin' Donuts, which actually works out super well because on Friday we were talking about this. We were talking about donuts.
Mm-hmm.
These are courtesy of Austin. Austin had sent me a message. It's also the reason the stream started late. Austin had sent me a message a few days ago and said, "Hey, I want to do something for your birthday. Could I bring you guys some donuts on Tuesday morning?" And I was like, "Yeah." I was like, "That'd be fantastic. I appreciate that." So he asked.
These are super fresh, by the way.
I mean, I hope so. So he asked like what donuts we like, and I was like, Mal likes Boston cream, I like vanilla cream. And he said, okay. But I didn't tell Mal. I didn't tell Mal that was happening. So last night I was like, I think a thing is happening in the morning. And Mal's like, what thing? And I was like, don't worry about it. She goes, you cannot do that to me. And I was like, don't worry, it's a good thing. It's a good thing. There's a good thing happening in the morning. And she goes, but what is it? And I was like, well, just have to wait and see. It's a surprise. So this morning, I got a text from Austin and said that he was on his way. And I was like, all right, Mal, you got to get up. And she goes, is the thing happening? I was like, the thing's happening. She's like, okay. She's like, what is it? And I was like, you will know very shortly. And then Austin pulled up with the donuts and she was like, So that's actually why we were late, because we haven't talked to Austin in a bit. So we actually just stood in the driveway and chatted for a little while. So it was good to see him again. And then also, I sincerely appreciate this. This is great. And he didn't know that we've been talking about donuts.
Mm-hmm.
So this is like kind of just a really good coincidence. And even better, even though I asked for vanilla cream, I tell people vanilla cream when they ask for my favorite donut because it's harder to do. A lot of places don't always have chocolate iced vanilla cream, mm-hmm. which Dunkin calls the Bismarck. But that's what I got.
Maybe he remembered because we did a lunch brunch at Dunkin.
Yeah, this is actually this very specific is like my favorite donut from Dunkin' Donuts, and that's what I got. I hope I did get this one right, and this one's not the Boston cream. I guess I'll know in a minute. He also got 2 blueberry cake donuts.
That was really good.
Which are his favorite. So.
Is it?
Yeah, it's mine.
Okay.
Anyway. Thank you, Austin. This is great.
It is great.
And I haven't had a I haven't had a donut in a bit.
Yeah.
It's been a
Did
little
your
while.
parents get donuts in the past year and bring them to us, or was?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
But it was a while ago.
Yeah, it was. I think it was closer to the beginning than the end, so it was probably. Oh, I don't know. Before the summer, maybe.
Maybe.
Not sure. Thomas, that's a good idea.
What'd Thomas say?
They should put a little dot.
Yeah, they should. Some places do.
Yeah, I've seen some places do that.
Bless you, Taco Bell.
Bless you, Taco Bell. That's another thing I haven't had in a bit. It's from Encarnado. Since I missed every stream last week, I need to give late Herf, Steven, Chazz, and Taco Bell. Oh, yeah. That's the other thing.
Yesterday.
So, my birthday was on Saturday, and folks generally just celebrated on Friday because there was a lot of folks here for Breath of the Wild. But I had a great birthday. We didn't really do, well, we didn't do a whole lot. I tried to make sure I got fan favorites done.
On your birthday?
That's mostly what I did on my birthday, was making sure I'd get that done. However, yesterday was our resident wizard's birthday. Yesterday was Chazz's birthday, so everyone give Chazz a happy birthday. I want to see those Chazz emotes.
This coffee is really good.
I want to see those Chazz emotes in chat. And if you're gonna do Star Rain this morning, highly consider just using Chazz's head. When I say it like that, it sounds like a weird murder scenario, but they know what I mean. They know what I mean. So happy birthday, Chazz.
You have a plate?
Oh, I do. Sorry. I just see plate and I'm like, plate. It's fine, you're not using it.
I clearly am.
Well, you're not using that side because that donut is gone. See, I have less room. That's my thing.
Now let's see if they put them in the box strangely. Because it was like 2, and then the blueberry, and then 2.
Sorry, that's a bouncy boy. Look at that boy bounce. That's a big bounce. That was from Aldo, 2,700 bits. Again, happy birthday, Chazz. Chazz, I promise not to call you a bouncy boy for the rest of my life. It's a one and done.
What if he gets on a trampoline?
Then he's a bouncy boy. So I don't promise. I've broken the promise. It was short-lived. 3 seconds. Anyway. Thomas says, oh my god, trampoline at ChefCon. I'm just thinking, not on my property. We would have to go to a location that has one that is insured.
There's a trampoline park out on 501.
There is.
Mm-hmm.
I've never been. Because I'm an adult. It's my first thought. Because I'm pretty sure my joints would explode if I got on a trampoline at my age. But maybe we could go. It could be fun. I'm sure not all of us would get hurt. Just some of us. And really, we got our bodies for free, so how can we even complain? That's really good. That's really good. Yeah, I can get one jump before my knees shatter. Perfect. I could probably still jump on a trampoline. I think that would be fine. Because, yeah, I do DDR. It's a different motion. DDR is just basically power walking, right? Because you're just walking quickly. I'm just training for my power walking days when I'm older. What else was I gonna say? There's another thing. I don't remember now. Normally I'm, I don't know, a little more, like, alert.
Sugar hasn't hit you yet, apparently.
I guess the sugar hasn't hit yet. It will. Oh, yes! Yeah, that's it. Facebook. Fan favorites. That's the other thing I was going to say. That came out on Sunday, right? Sunday.
Mm-hmm.
If you haven't seen that, I recommend it. It's good. It's a good look back for 2020, which was, you know, was it a weird year? Yeah, it was a really friggin' weird year. But it was a year. It did occur. I also wanted to officially announce that the best moments of Breakfast Stream 2020, as voted by all of you, will be out on Thursday. So next Thursday, which is 2 days from now. I shouldn't say next Thursday. I should just say Thursday. Thursday, 2 days from now, we'll be doing another premiere, and it'll just be after Breakfast Stream. So if you join us for Breakfast Stream on Thursday, right after the stream, we'll premiere it, so you can watch even more Breakfast Stream. So yeah, it's gonna be good. I watched it last night. Dan did a good job on that too, and I got to get a thing done for it, but I can do that today. So yeah. How hard was it to edit the 2020 fan favorites? Dan did most of the heavy lifting for that. Dan is the one that
went through the submission form.
Dan is the one that goes through the submission form. As far as like the time that we put into it, I don't know exactly what the time is, because I probably put, I don't know if I put the exact same amount of hours into it as he does. I probably have a little less time into it. But to me, it really feels like, and I think I say this on the vlog, it feels like 98% and 2%. It's not in terms of like the hours spent. It's much, much closer than that. But he's the one that does all of the submission stuff, and that's the part that's hard. So he did that. He went through all of the submissions. He got it down to a particular length, and then he gives it to me, and then I just
do some fine tuning.
Basically that.
You did the Sagan part.
Yeah, he didn't have anything in there from whatever the 13th of February to the 24th of February. Like he left that out because I told him I was going to deal with that. I wasn't exactly sure what I wanted to do, but I was like, I'll do that part. So I put that in, and then I took out some of them. I can't tell people how much I took out, because if I say that, they'll be like, well, we want the full version, even though the version I released is the full version. So I will not tell you how much content I removed from the fan favorites video, but I removed the amount necessary to make it the fan favorites video.
He's howling again.
Kepi! I did not take out 6 hours. Release the Steven cut.
This is the Steven cut.
You watched the Steven cut. You guys have it backwards. You want the Dan cut. Dan gives me a big version, and I make it smaller. I've been editing a long time. I am not kind to footage.
No, you're not.
I'm like,
See, I do a first pass on my video, and then I do a second pass, and then Steven does a third pass on my full version at least. And, like, I trim it down a bit on my videos, and then Steven trims it down more. But I've gotten better. There's less and less you have to trim.
Honestly, these days, I almost never touch your video.
You just watch it and get the audio right, because I'm awful at audio.
Mal's really bad at mixing audio. Like, there's been times where, like, she got it. Like, I watched through it and I'm like, I didn't adjust anything. You did great. And then there's other times I'm like,
Just delete all music, start over.
I'm like, are your ears working okay? Because, like, it'll be, like, super loud and then soft, and I'm like, what's happening? It's fine. It's fine. If you don't release every part of footage, and if it's completely useless and pointless and adds nothing, is it really cinema?
Listen, I can't be great at everything.
Just everything else, right?
Mm-hmm. We complement each other.
This sounds like an excuse to get out of doing the audio. Because lately, calling Mal out this morning, lately Mal doesn't even bother doing the music.
Correct.
Mal's like, you'll just have to change it anyway, so I just didn't even do it. And I was like, Stephen can do the audio and remembers which buttons are on the controllers.
Chazz, there's so many buttons and they're all different.
So lately,
and every game is different. It's like, these buttons are whistle. What game are you playing? It's a different one for each.
For probably like the last year, if you watched a Mal Makes video and you were like, I really like the music choices that were on this Mal Makes video, you're welcome.
Sometimes I pick the music. I just don't do the audio.
I would prefer it if you picked the music. That's one less thing for me to do.
Okay.
But are there times where I start playing it and I from the other room go, what were you thinking?
Yeah, that happens a lot. So should I start putting music in and just like making sure I have enough music for the footage? And then you just mix it?
I mean, that is what we attempt to do. That's what we try to do, but like...
On the last painting, I was like, good luck.
There's a feel, right? There's a certain feel. It's one of the reasons why we very, very infrequently use music from Jules. Because there is a feel to Jules' music, and there is a feel to you painting something.
Yeah.
And a lot of times, those are not on the same wavelength. So, like, have we used music from Jules in Mal Makes videos? We have, but it's exceedingly rare because it's just not the...
Which is a shame, because I like...
It's also a shame because Jules has done
music.
a ton of music that he's given us permission to use. So, it would be convenient, but it very infrequently fits what's happening on screen.
Mm-hmm.
So, it's hard to find... And sometimes it's just like, we have to use what we can use. Sometimes there's games and like they don't have very many tracks.
Yeah.
There's been a few times where we've had to use the official music, which I really don't like to use.
Yeah.
But we've had to use it because there's very little out there. So.
Kepler.
Anyway. Hey, could you read alerts so I can...
I can.
I've been holding half of a donut in my hand for 20 minutes.
Let me tell this story quick while you eat your donut and then I start reading alerts.
Okay.
So I took a shower last night and Kepler is standing outside of the guest room, just screaming at the door. And I'm showering and I'm like, Kepler... Sab, that's so nice.
That's what I was pointing at.
I may message you more frequently.
Just piano noodle, but piano noodle for 8 minutes. We have an 8-minute gap. Please noodle for 8 minutes. 8 minutes and 12 seconds.
I appreciate it.
Thank you, Sam.
Sapphire316 subscribed. Welcome. Also, this coffee's really good, but maybe it's the extra scoop of sugar I put in. It was more coffee than normal. This is the big mug. This is like twice a normal mug, so I put an extra sugar in because it was full.
These are 12 ounces.
Yeah.
And a normal cup of coffee we do is 6, so yeah, I guess it should take 2.
Renee says, why was Kepler yelling? We have no idea.
Yeah, I was about to say, I feel like you didn't finish your story.
I got distracted.
Oh. Your story was he screamed.
That's all he did. He just screamed.
Thomas, yes.
But like, I was like, buddy, what's going on? And he stepped back towards the bathroom door so I could see him. And he just looking at me, his tail's puffed up, his eyes are big, and he keeps glancing at the door that he was screaming at. And I was like, is Stephen hiding there? Like, what is going on? He was freaking me out. Like, I rushed through the shower so I could go look at what he was doing. It freaked me out.
I was upstairs and I heard him howling, but I also heard Mal talking to him. And I knew Mal was in the shower, and I was like, it's fine.
Dylan says, probably just a ghost. Yeah, but like, I didn't know, like, did someone break in through the window in the room? Like, what happened? Thomas? Did Thomas break in? It was freaking me out, and I was uncomfortable and worried because he was acting strange. And then I let him into the room, and he just walked around and sniffed things, and I was like, okay. I don't know. Haunted. Kepler is just haunted.
Kepler is haunted? So not the house, Kepler.
Kepler.
Okay. Sure.
He's still crying. Danny X6 sent 300 bits. On Friday night, you mentioned the idea of no more candles on birthday cake because cake breathing. This past birthday of mine, all the candles were already lit before I thought about it, so I just flapped the bottom of my shirt in the direction of the cake. Worked surprisingly well.
You know what? I have an idea.
Fans?
This is a market. This is a product. We start selling some sort of special, like, birthday blower, right? You know how I have those the rocket.
Oh, the dust thing.
The rocket duster for like electronics or cameras or whatever. That, but it's
birthday themed.
It's birthday themed. So we sell those, and then when it's time to blow out the candles, we'll give that to people, and they'll. Oh my God, we'll call blow tickler. I was about to say we could call it the blow tickler. The birthday tickler. Anyway, it doesn't matter what it's called. And we'll sell them. Thanks for the reminder, Chazz. We'll sell them in the grocery store next to the candles.
Okay.
So then people will be like, oh, get your tickler, and then I think it'd be a fun.
But I'm allergic to the rocket. Would it be silicone?
I guess we'll sell a special one for you.
Thanks.
How common is a latex allergy?
It's more and more common, but I don't know the stats.
Okay. The problem with latex allergies is that, like, if you have it, it's real bad.
Yeah, it tends to be real bad. Some people just get like hives, but most people like have it bad.
Well, we have that.
I know.
And
I don't touch it.
And you
keep
just
it
don't
away.
touch it. Mm-hmm. And as long as you don't touch it, you good.
Yeah.
The trick to allergies is
stay away from the things you're
stay away
allergic
from
to.
the thing.
Yeah.
Done.
Pink Matuma says, I have a latex allergy. It's pretty common. I know super many people with one. Like, Steven's mom is allergic. Me. There's a few people at the dentist office that are.
Yeah. It does affect the things that we buy, though.
Yeah. Or the things I touch. Like, if we have we had to pump up all the tires on the Subaru, like, I couldn't do it.
Obviously, you can't do that.
Mm-hmm.
I have to do that. There's, this is an example that came to me. This was for last year. Was it last? Yeah, so it's for last year. Early last year, I had bought a new pistol grip for my camera. And I bought it, and it didn't say that it was latex. I thought that it was silicone. It arrived, I opened the bag, and you can smell it, and I was like, oh, you are latex. So then immediately I'm like, well, crap, I can't use that, because there are times where Mal films stuff with the vlog, and she has to hold it, so it's like, I just can't use it. So I ordered a new one, and then I put it on the shelf, and I told myself, I was like, oh, I'll give this to Tom.
Oh, yeah. You were going to give it to Tom.
I was going to give it to Tom, because Tom, Tom has the same camera I do, actually. Or does he? I think, maybe? I think he does. And I was like, when I see Tom at Coliseum,
Yeah, when that happened in 2020.
then I'll give him this thing. And then, of course, that didn't happen.
Nikki said the Magic the Gathering playmats.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's right. Yeah.
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 Steven has one of those really big mouse pads on his desk, and like I have to be careful if I use his computer. And when I switched to the mouse I'm using now, away from the Apple mouse that I was using,
Yeah.
the Logitech one I have now, I had to get a mouse pad because it wasn't reading on my desk well. So I got it's metal
It's
on
a metal
one side. Well, I didn't like the scraping noise it made on the metal.
Fair.
The other side is like a fake leather. And
Yeah,
that's what I use now.
I had never seen anything like that, but there's if you are a latex allergy person and you want a mouse pad, they make
Yeah.
the
fake leather version works pretty good.
so maybe something to look into, or get the mouse pad from Mario Paint.
Oh yeah, the solid plastic one.
There you go. Anyway, also Nikki, make sure you tell Austin thank you again for all this. This is
They were really good.
they're super fresh.
Wait till you have that one. That one in particular was like perfect.
Okay.
Mac Mayhem resubbed 31 months and said 31 months of crunch. Not much to say this time around other than the fact that my is that Master of Science thesis
I think so.
is due in a couple months, and your content always helps me relax, unwind, and when there's a lot of stuff to do. So cheers for that. Good luck on getting your thesis done, though. That's awesome.
That, and then also 31. Mech was our first subscriber,
Ah,
so
it's our first 31 month.
I think so. Yeah. I feel like we just got to 30. I feel like that just happened, and yet here, dude, we're moving on.
Nikki said that Austin said that he knew it was something you love but wouldn't get yourself.
It's almost like he knows me.
I was gonna say, it's almost like you've been friends forever.
It's almost like we've been friends for our entire lives. Yeah, and that's not even really a pandemic thing. That's just a me thing of like, yeah, I like donuts, but then I have to like go get it. I have to get in
And
the
we
car.
shouldn't have donuts. Yeah.
One thing though. One thing is that there has been an astounding amount of sweets in the house.
Yeah.
Because last week, in the middle of the week, not my birthday, in the middle of the week, my mom brought us squash cake, which
Think like zucchini bread, but made with yellow squash, and then there was also frosting on it.
yeah, there's cream cheese frosting on it. And I was like, oh, okay, this is my birthday cake. And my mom's like, no. I'm like, well, then what? My birthday's in like 2 days. What is this for? She's like, this is just your pre-cake cake. And I'm like, that's not a thing. Please don't make this a thing. So then on Saturday, she gave me a cake. And it was a sizable cake. It's a bigger cake than it should have been. So we've been eating that. And we still have cake, but when Austin had mentioned about bringing donuts, I was like, man, donuts sound really good. I was like, I'm not gonna tell Mal that there's more sweets arriving. It's fine. They will get eaten, and they are. They're getting eaten. It's fine.
What I should do for my birthday is be like, just make a cake for Dan, and we'll have it on like a Thursday driveway chat, and then I can have a slice and not an entire cake.
One entire cake. Keep reading. We're not making good
No,
progress
we're not.
this morning.
Aldo512 sent 300 bits. Happy late birthday, Steven. Hope you got everything you wanted from the birthday skeleton.
Oh, I love the birthday skeleton.
Don't forget.
I mean, that's the Halloween skeleton.
The extra life skeleton.
Yeah, but it happened at Halloween time.
Yeah, it did. It was Halloween. And then Lindsay put him up in her house for Halloween.
Oh, do people know that? Dompe has a new home with Lindsay, because we don't really have a good spot for a skeleton
for all seasons.
We don't really have a good spot for skeletons, but Lindsay did. Lindsay was like, "Well, I've got a spot for skeletons."
A closet.
So, yeah. So it's been it's now in Lindsay's possession. So
It's a Shio 9 resub 24 months. Woo, a year.
teamwork.
Teamwork.
You love to see it.
Spinach Wrap resubbed 25 months. Thank you. Dark Overlord resubbed 29 months and said 29 months of crunch. Almost to 30.
People hitting that two and a half.
A skeleton isn't just for Halloween.
Oh man. The full 17! It is legend. Danny, thank you. And again, happy birthday to Chazz. Happy birthday, Chazz. Fun fact, and I will point this out every time there's a 17 star rain. That is accurate to the actual amount of star rain that Mallow can perform in Super Mario RPG. It's 17. The day that I figured this out live on stream, that it works out to be that amount and doesn't move into the 5,000, which is the song alert, it blew my freaking mind. I was like, what? And Chazz was like, yeah, I know. And I'm like, how did you... What? Because the 5,000 was figured out before.
Yeah.
So I feel like it's coincidental, but I do believe that it was intentional. But again, I don't know how this stuff works. And the other thing is that Chazz knows math. He can divide numbers, which I've actually never figured out how. I do understand that there's a line involved, like the little slash.
The division symbol?
Yeah.
That makes it into a fraction.
Yeah, the special number is 4801. It's a happy number. Thank you, Thomas.
Thank you, Danny.
Anyway.
Gold Mage resubbed at 21 months and said, good morning. I have an almost two-year-old Twitch dragon. Stephen, tell us more about the Twitch dragon species, won't you?
Oh yeah, it's a special dragon. The scales are crystalline. They're some shade of purple. And they can't fly because they're a flightless dragon, like an ostrich. Not that an ostrich is a dragon, that's ridiculous, but you know, it is on the ground. It's on the ground. I'm just gonna warn folks. Because this doesn't happen this often. I am almost certainly going to be going to the bathroom. Very rarely do I need to do that, like, during a stream, but, like, it's just, oh my god. I put in the donuts and my body was like, we'll do the rest.
Hi are you?
No.
What?
Hi, Ryu.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
My brain split it up into 3 in different places.
I got you.
Thank you. Resubbed for 30 months. Thank you. Colton KP resubbed 6 months. That's double plus. That's double plus.
Oh.
You clap for a year.
Bum.
Action Cat sent 300 bits. My boyfriend
Lord.
and I are finally up for breakfast stream, but it's because I just broke my ankle and got a cast. Oh my gosh, I'm sorry about that.
That's not good.
No.
But if you're in a cast, that means at least that part's done. It would be a lot worse if you were like, we're up for breakfast stream. And then line breaks. Oh god, I just broke my ankle. Like, that's... Both are bad. One is worse. I'm glad that you're in the I'm still eating this donut. I'm glad that you're on the road to recovery.
Yeah.
That's what I'm trying to say.
That
This cat is so warm.
Action Cat has seen a doctor already.
That's it.
Yeah.
That's the one. Oh my lord.
Is he warm?
Oh my goodness.
Well, you're also drinking warm coffee. Ryan B resubbed 29 months. I got nothing, really. Nothing at all. Oh, wait. I guess this is something after all. Oops.
It sneaks up on you. Sometimes you're like, I have no... Oh, there's something in Earthbound about that. Oh, it's Mr. Saturn. He says, I have no something. That was it. That was my brain.
Or the guy who screams because he didn't know what to say.
I mean, that's a little different, but yeah. That guy in, is it Moonside? No, that's the secretary for Carpenter.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's in Tucson somewhere.
Yeah. Secretary for Carpenter.
Missing No Leader resubbed 29 months and said, 29 months, not much on my end, but my sister got her first choice residency. So now we just have to worry about moving out and the wedding. Do you have any bachelor party ideas in these COVID times?
No.
There's someone we know
Not really.
that their friend got married and had a bachelor party, but they had like an outdoor cookout.
Yeah, I guess that's the best thing I could come up with. Yeah.
And like, I think there was a projector and maybe they watched movies, or Jackbox is good, Skit Scott, if like Missing No Leaders.
A cookout is a pretty good idea. Like in the realm of trying to do things safely, that's probably one of your best bets.
Yeah.
Because then you can all like chill outside. You can still chat.
Yeah.
Because that's exactly what happened. Because a buddy of ours went to a like Mouse said, a bachelor party during COVID, and it was pretty safe.
Brianna906 resubbed 11 months. I am somehow only a month away from a year. Anyway, I got a surprise email from my college yesterday. It said that I could sign up for the COVID vaccine, and now I'm getting my first dose tomorrow. Congratulations.
Congrats. Very, very nice. Hear more and more about, folks getting their first vaccine, which is stupendous.
Yeah.
Stupendous.
I saw this morning that Arizona opened up to, was it 16 plus?
Yep. They're now one of, 6 states.
I heard some other states are, in some areas of the state.
Like on a county-by-county basis?
Well, we heard from someone who said the county next door opened it up to anyone because they had so much.
Yeah.
And then we heard from extended family who said that their state opened it up, but I hadn't heard on the news yet. Yeah. Stuff is happening. Steffi Roth 1204, resub 29 months. 29 months of I was doing so good reading.
You were doing so good.
29 months subscribed after your birthday, of which you were also 29 months once. What a coincidence.
Hey, you! You were younger than you are now once.
The Mitch Hedberg joke. This is a photo of me when I was younger.
Every photo is a photo of you when you were younger.
People are saying other states are moving to anyone soon. Michigan, there's some other people that were saying their state's moving to that soon. Soon. South Carolina will.
Yeah, well, I mean, we have a date.
Well, they have an estimated date right now.
I mean, things have been moving more quickly than more slowly.
Yeah.
So, it's an estimate, but also, if it changes, it will probably be earlier, not later.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I don't see it getting pushed back. I get it seeing sooner.
Yeah, we'll know when we know. We'll let you know when we know. We're excited and restless.
Yeah.
A little restless.
Yeah, very. Colin 4501 resubbed 21 months and said crunch.
Crunch.
How do you say that?
That was me laughing at
me not being able to pronounce things.
I usually go with Arpiga.
I can hear you say things in my head, but sometimes I can't say them.
I mean,
and this was an instance of that.
Like, so one thing about it is that there's a lot of usernames that, it's not there's not necessarily like an obvious way to pronounce them.
Yeah.
Sometimes folks will just let us know. Sometimes it actually goes the other way, where occasionally someone will say, there is no intended pronunciation, so you just, do whatever you think is right.
Anyway, it was a 10-month resub. I'm dropping my resub before jumping into some work training. Enjoy the crunch. Cool. I hope your training goes well.
I was going to try and think of like a training song, but I couldn't think of one.
I worked at Lowe's Home Improvement for all of 1 month, and the work training was awful.
But was there a work training song?
No. I was given the computer that for some reason the headphones didn't work, so I didn't have sound having to watch all the videos and answer the questions.
I had the tire would have been a good one. You got to do some work training, you gotta do work, you gotta get the training and do a work thing. Learn the training and you're working and the training time now. Cause you train and you work while you train.
Check in case is the Wendy's training video. Yeah. Wendy's. Hot drinks.
You know what would be great?
What?
They bring that guy out of retirement. Also, there's no way he's retired. He was young in that video. It wasn't that long ago. But they bring a guy out of retirement, and he does a remastered version.
That'd be great.
And then goes on tour. Oh, fantastic. I would go to see that concert. Because how often do you get to tell people that you went to the Wendy's training concert? That would be fantastic. Just saying.
Hugplex20 resub 25 months and said 25. Ah ha ha.
Ah. Like, vampire.
Can't be, don't fall.
I'm gonna be real honest with you.
What? You need to go?
No, it passed.
Okay, well then you can read alerts.
Yeah. It passed, and that's worrisome, because if it passes, it just means that it's coming back with a vengeance. So, at some point, I just might go, oh, and then just rush out of here. We'll see. 7 months from Puttykins with the Chazz emote. We got Star Rain from Squid Baconator with Chazz. And then immediately another one from Ryan B06. Again, if you're coming in late, yesterday was Chazz's birthday. We celebrated with his head.
So many me.
7 months from the Super Thingy Mabob. Herb, Steven, and Chazz, didn't know so many birthdays were so close. Can I get good vibes for the ongoing crappy job search? Good vibes.
Good vibes.
I hope things go well. There's a lot of, I think did we end up concluding that there's more of our friends' birthdays in March than
April.
any? Oh, April. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So, last week was Austin's birthday.
Mm-hmm.
And my birthday.
Mm-hmm.
This week is Chazz's birthday. Michael's birthday. Nick's birthday. Sounds right. I think that might be it.
Fossick says, Masay, Tim, Emil, me, Dan, Haley, my sister, my grandmother,
there's a lot
my mom.
of people. Yeah, there's a lot of people in April.
Mm-hmm. In my planner for my calendar, April is very full.
Well, it's good. It's just, more people to say happy birthday to.
Yeah.
Nikki says we have Austin, his mom, and brother-in-law all in 1 week. It's a very busy... See, now this is an opportunity, I think, to get like one big cake, and then you have that one big cake. Mm-hmm. If you were my mother...
It'd be individual big cakes.
No, everyone will get 2 cakes. Be like, well, this is your pre-cake, and this is your cake. And you get a pre-cake and a cake. And you get a pre-cake and a cake.
On my mom's side of the
Oprah
family.
Of food.
My mom's like middle of 13 children, like in the middle of that. The most you can be, I guess. Or it's an odd number. So yeah. And
diabetes for all.
like, all of her siblings had kids, so I have a ton of cousins. And what we would do is we would celebrate the month's birthdays all at once. So we'd all go out to eat.
Yeah.
Well, we'd go out to a bar for happy hour that also had food.
That's
And
very Wisconsin.
we would celebrate everyone's birthday for that month.
Yeah. See, you know, growing up as an only child with literally no extended family around, that wasn't a thing.
Yeah.
It's just me. 30 bits Samantha here, Sora. Good morning, grandparents. Wanted to say that the new job I started a few weeks ago has been going good. Unfortunately, this weekend I found out I've been in contact with someone who was tested positive. Fortunately, I was tested negative, but I'm still in quarantine just to be safe. Well, it's good that you're being safe.
Yeah.
And hopefully they'll be all right. And also glad that the job has been going good. Love to hear those sorts of stories.
Yeah.
We got 100 bits from The Thrill Of. Also 100 from Bubbles8738. 2 months from Lil Dombo. Who says 2 months and new username. Been around a long time, just in the shadows. That's fine. That's fine. We got a lot of lurkers. Hey, lurkers. Wave. If it is a very rare thing for you to chat, then post something in the chat, because I know you're here. Because we got when you have this many people watching, when your viewership is this, and the normal chatters are here, you're like, well, you know, there's 2/3 of people, they're watching, so we appreciate you. Thanks for being here. I'm glad, I'm glad you're entertained. You could be doing anything right now. You could be watching cable. I mean, we couldn't because we don't have cable. Maybe you don't have cable. But if you do, you could be watching cable. They have probably higher production values. Because they have, like, corporations with, like...
Money.
With money. And we're like, well, you know, we've got this cat.
Cat!
That was pretty well timed. We got this cat. I don't have to continue after that. 30 bits to throw it down. Yo, dog, I hear you like breakfast streams. So Thursday we'll have a compilation of breakfast stream after breakfast stream, so you can stream breakfast stream while eating breakfast. I mean, that's, yes, yeah. Correct. It's completely correct. Also, as a result, we're going to, probably going to try and end at, like, a very specific time on
so that
Thursday.
People can go watch that.
Yeah, like, I'll schedule it ahead of time. I'll set the premiere, and then I'll tell myself, like, breakfast stream has to be over by this time. Like, challenge the chat or not, like, I'll just turn alerts off because it'll have to be done at a specific time. But we'll do that, and then folks will be able to watch it. Fossix, no! So noon? No, it'll be earlier than that. But I'm excited for folks to see it because I watched it last night. It was the first time I've seen it. Dan gave it to me a month ago, along with fan favorites. I've had these things for a month, but I've been busy with other things, so I just couldn't work on it. And I watched it last night, and I had no changes. I didn't cut anything out of the breakfast stream stuff. It's obviously shorter than fan favorites, but it's real good. And, like, there's songs in it, but it's surprising that it's not, like, mostly songs. There's just, like, good stories and good moments, and there's a few retelling of dreams and stuff that they've had. So it's fun. It's fun. And a few things I forgot about.
Yeah.
You'll like it. 2 months from Yellow Yoshi 2. Appreciate it. 300 from Shy, who says Jules' music doesn't always fit the mood. So doom painting when? That would solve the issue easily. In all fairness, yes, if Mao ends up painting Doom, for one, that'd be something. Do you think you could paint just like demon corpses? Is that in your wheelhouse?
No, it's not.
Be kind of cool. But, you know, if that happens, yeah, we got Jules on speed dial. 300 bits from Ivar. He says, good morning, grandparents. First of all, belated herf to Stephen. Also, now 2 months after graduation, I finally get a job. I'll be working as a COVID-19 tester for at least 5 months. So glad I can help fight the pandemic. Greetings from the Netherlands. Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. That's fantastic, and it's also going to be really rewarding, too, to feel like you're assisting in a very direct way. Mm-hmm. So that's really, really cool. We also get a sub from Metal Paper Mario. Welcome. 10 months from Mitch Match 12. 10 months. Wow. Haven't stopped by in a long time since I've been completing my degree. So I probably missed some months there. Getting close to that first year. Enjoy them donuts, grandparents. We did. And now I'm full. We have, there's another 2 donuts.
I know.
Austin brought us a half dozen. And there's cake.
And there's cake.
It's fine. 14 months from T-Mug Celeste. Thanks for the fun, but also Mal, thanks for sharing about your latex allergy. I recently painted a pair of bookcases, but started feeling itchy and icky. Because of you, I realized I was reacting to the latex primer. Luckily, just dermatologically.
I don't know the last time that I've used latex paint. So I'm not sure what part of it is in it.
I don't know. I've never seen you have a bad reaction to latex.
It's been a very long time.
But it's also because I know of your allergy, I've always, like,
a lot of the time I'm like,
been aware
hey,
of it.
Smell this before I touch it.
Yeah. There's been a few times where something has happened and Mal's been like, all right, I can feel myself getting itchy or whatever, and then, she'll wash her hands or, like, her lips or whatever to fix it. But fortunately, I haven't been put in a situation where it's been dangerous. I'll never forget, it was while we were still dating. We had went down to Broadway at the beach, and there was like a street performer down there, like doing balloon animals or giving out balloons, and he had made like a balloon dog or whatever, and it's just like giving them to people passing by, and we were together and we were walking, and he like shoved it in Mal's face like, "You want this balloon dog?" And I stepped outside of everyone's comfort zones for just a brief moment, and I let him know that that was dangerous and he should not do that. In my own special way, I let him know. It was fine. 499 bits from Danny X6. Just have to even out my bits now. Well, of course. Gotta smooth them off the top. Thank you, Danny. 500 bits from Vegetable Sorbet with Chazz Star Rain.
Coffee!
What?
Nope. Well. I don't know about everyone else. This is definitely a mood for me. The sitting there and going like, is it time?
You could go make it time.
I don't work like that. Okay, yeah, all right.
Bye.
Listen, I warned everyone. I said it's gonna be okay, buddy. You gotta get up. It's starting to become an emergency. It's time. I know you're asleep. You're very sweet. Could you sit? Could you move right here?
What? How dare you move, Kepler?
I still have the donuts on my fingers, so he's tried to sniff them. He's like, "Hey, what's that?" It's not for you.
How dare you move, Kepler?
How dare I move him?
Goodbye.
I'll be back.
Gold Mage sent 300 bits. Steven, I sent you lots of parrot facts, but now you sent me an ostrich fact. I did not know they're apparently dragons. Please tell me lots more about them. Well, I think that dragons lay eggs too, just like ostriches. You turn the keyboard off. Ice Chocobo sent 300 bits. I'm getting my first dose of COVID vaccine tomorrow. Positive about living in a small rural town. The COVID risk has always been low. Negative, it was hard to find a place within an hour away of administering it. Those are definitely positive and negative for living in rural areas. because we live in a tourist town, a lot of the hospitality industry is in one of the earlier groups, so they're getting vaccinated, and spring break is just starting. But things are happening, and it's always exciting to hear about you guys, you know, in chat and through bits that are getting your doses, and it's very exciting. I am waiting patiently, and it's very hard to be patient. Robin resub 2 months, so I've been playing more Fallout 4 lately. Thanks, Steven. It's a good game. I know he is glad to be done with it after so long doing absolutely everything. DC Racer sent 300 bits. Can I get a clown and good vibes for my quiz and trenchless technology assessment today in my lab report, nanomaterial measurements Monday? Yeah, good vibes. Those all are things I don't understand. I didn't know there was trenchless technology. I knew nanomaterials were a thing, but measuring them? I don't know, but good vibes. Ice Chocobo gifted a sub to Debatably Competent. Thank you. Shy sent 300 bits. Math time? I just have the thing. For any number, if the sum of its individual digits is a number that's a multiple of 3, then that number itself is a multiple of 3. For example, 5,184. This specific trick only works for 3. I remember learning about that and being like, well, is it divisible by 5? Is it divisible by 2 / an even number? I remember some math too. Shinoth sent 300 bits. So recently I read that VTubers apparently have a manager for their streams, and the concept kind of blew me away until I remembered that's pretty much what Chazz does, isn't it? Happy birthday, Chazz. Yeah, basically. The hope is that someday Chazz can, like, be here off screen, hitting buttons, chiming in to yell at us about things like, you know, get off that topic, you're talking way too long about it. Dark Overlord sent 4,000 bits and said, on the topic of sharing a single day for birthdays, about 40% of my family have birthdays in July. So in the normal times, we would just do a big day event for everyone. That's the way to do it. Because then you don't have to, like, meet up every couple days. I know sometimes if there would be, like, a big holiday for that month, we'd just kind of turn it into our birthday celebration. Like, for May, it would be Memorial Day. Like, we'd also just celebrate birthdays then. Or, like, for April, it'd be Easter, if Easter was in April. Opal Siren resub 10 months. Hello, grandparents. Hope everyone has a good week. I hope you guys have a good week. I'm excited. We have nice weather. We're getting stuff done. I cleaned and set up the studio yesterday. And I took my drop cloth and we took it outside and I shook it out because when I'm, like, sharpening my chalk pastels or stuff, like, the little bits, like, sometimes they go on the floor or whatever. So it was nice just to clean everything up and get it nice and presentable again. I cleaned the studio side, but I haven't cleaned the computer side of my room yet, so it's not all the way done, but I can only do so much at once because, like, my easel's heavy, and I have my cart, and, like, all these lights, and the camera. So I have to, like, move everything off half the room, and, like, block myself in so I can clean the one half, and then put all the stuff back, and then clean the other half. And I didn't get to cleaning the other half yet, but I'll get there. Pseudobyte sent 5,000 bits. I had an idea for a thing for John's stream. Can I get you to say, fine, just play your stupid music, and hey, I was listening to that. I'll leave that up, just so he can see that later, but thank you. Furry Zoe sent 3,000 bits. Good morning, grandparents. I'm currently replanting my Animal Crossing rose garden. What's everyone's favorite Stephen Plays, StephenVlog Mal Makes moments? I can't think of something off the top of my head. I mean, one of my favorite moments was always Sammy 3.0. I just remember thinking that was really hilarious when that happened. Poke Emblem 7 resubbed 13 months. Thank you. Did we actually roll beans, or are we asking for beans? I should probably check. No, we did not start them. We'll do some beans for Doug. If you want to support Steven and I and get perks other than the Twitch perks, the Nightbot from Fossix has the links. We have different things available. And these are all of our beans, the names, and the people who are on Steven's. I'm real good at saying the words. Real good. Captain McKitty resub 9 months. I don't like being called for lurking, but here we are, Steven. Also, Twitch babies are a thing, so I'm gonna name it something later. I don't know, I'm a procrastinator. Also, update on my progress through the journey. I'm almost on to 2013. Baby steps. I mean, that's progress, because there is a lot. Doug the bean-loving dog. Was it Thomas's turn? Oops. I don't remember. Friday was a long time ago, and it was a very late night. Rara Oaks sent 3,000 bits and said Steven Sub and Mr. Game Boy all should run in fear. Akira Dre resubbed 18 months, glad for the mental distraction while I separate tags by aisle for my store's sale change tomorrow. This will only take a few hours. That's a job I had one summer. I needed a summer job throughout college, and it was, my mom was like, why don't you come work at my grocery store? They're looking for someone to do pricing for the pricing clerk. And I loved pricing. That was probably one of my favorite, you know, jobs before I became a teacher. Like, part-time high school, college student job. The worst part was that, you know, Sunday sales would start and I'd have to be into work at like 3 a.m. to change all of the stuff before the store opened. And I really loved it. And the person who was above me, the pricing manager, had the store set up and had, you know, each aisle and knew what was in each aisle. Like in the computer, she herself went and put it all in when the store opened because it wasn't done automatically. And then she had like a bay for each part of the aisle. So it would be like aisle 7, bay B. So it would be the second set of, like where the division was on the shelf. So it'd be easier to find where the thing was at least. And it was fun. I liked that job a lot. I also got to like use the computer and like make signs. It was fun. Yuki875 resub 2 months. Good morning, grandparents. This is my first sub and I just want to say thanks for making me happy. Well, thanks for being here and subbing. We're here to make people happy and smile at 10 in the morning, which is sometimes way too early for me. Skit Scott sent 3,000 bits. Did you hear there's going to be a mobile Pikmin game that is from the makers of Pokemon Go? I heard about it through what was trending on Twitter, and I didn't look into it, and then Steven told me about it and told me a little bit more about what he had seen, but I still haven't really looked into it, so I don't actually know what it's about yet. But I will have to look into that later today. But it's exciting, because I've played more Pikmin than Pokemon, so it's something I'll probably check out and play a little bit. Pickletron sent Firelord Love Star Rain. Thank you. Oh, Debatably Competent says they haven't said much. Okay. Maybe soon. We'll know. Cabri29 sent 3,000 bits. I woke up on Saturday and I had managed to pull a muscle in my neck/shoulder while sleeping. Still hurting today. Could I please get some of those patented good vibes? Yeah, good vibes. Maybe put some heat on it. If you have like a microwave rice pack or something. So I've noticed lately that I've been sleeping with my shoulder like tucked up by my ear, and it's been hurting. I need to stop doing that. But I do it subconsciously when I'm asleep, and it's very hard. Rizzo Luca resub 7 months. Good morning, grandparents, and happy belated Chazz. Thank you for the fun 7 months. Can we get some good vibes for consistently nice weather? Yeah, good vibes. I'm really excited that we have nice weather all week. Down where we live, we have lots of bugs outside. Lots of them. And it's just kind of part of life down here in the southeast. And we sprayed around the house outside for bugs. And we have to like kind of plan it with the weather so it doesn't like wash it all away and it can dry. So we did that the other day and I'm glad we've had nice weather to get that done. And it's starting to get warmer, and it will be summer soon. And then it will get very warm down here. The bassoonist says, lots of them. Keep that in mind if you're coming to South Carolina. I had never seen cockroaches this big down until I came down here. Like, I swear that the bug was like this big, and it skittered across the floor, and then I found out they could fly. What kind of bugs? I don't know. We've had mosquitoes already. Right now we have crane flies, which look like big mosquitoes, but they don't bite. We have roaches, both German and American, but the American ones are big. And Thomas says, you mean palmetto bugs. They're fine. Thomas, that's the nice word you use when you want to make tourists feel more comfortable, but they're just really huge, huge roaches. And we have like 4 types of mosquitoes, and they're all awful. We have ones called, we have the tiger mosquito, the gallinipper, which only come out sometimes, depending on like how wet it gets. And like I've seen comparison photos of between them and the regular mosquito, and they are huge. Yeah, we have fire ants. Those are also awful. Arthur Game Library says cicadas are rising from the dirt this year in the Midwest. Yeah, the, what are they called? They're not annual, but they come out every like 10 years in different places, and there's different groupings of them. We're not going to have any here, but they come out every so often. Xenoblade says, wait, there's more than one type of mosquito? Yeah. And the tiger mosquitoes, they have like white elbows and stuff like on all their legs. So their legs look striped, black and white. And those ones I'm super allergic to. Like, if I get a mosquito bite from them, I need some water. Like, I get like a huge raised lump. They're just, I'm very allergic to those ones. Cabry29 gifted a sub to Diddy Eggs. Thank you for the milk bomb. Armored Frog gifted a sub to Bean Love and Doug. Doug needs a gift sub. Blue says, has Mel ever told out how she found out she has a latex allergy? I had gone to the dentist, and that night I got home and my lips swelled up real big, and I had a weird taste in my mouth. And when I was in high school or middle school, and I thought it was like the polishing compound, but it was the gloves the dentist had in my mouth. Jules resub 13 months. Good morning, Mal. Hope you're well. Thanks, Jules. I'm great. I hope you're well, too. I've had a good few weeks, and I'm very excited for future things between, like, my channel and other stuff that's going on. Sapphire Becca says, evil dentist. Lots of dentists, especially, like, in the early 2000s, still use latex mosquitoes. Not mosquitoes. I just read Las Flatas and said mosquitoes, and I inserted that word. Lots of dentists use latex gloves still, and it's something I have to check every time I go anywhere to any doctor and they put gloves on or anything. Adriana says, Mal, what's for breakfast? We had donuts and coffee from Dunkin, because one of Steven's longtime friends, whose mother and Steven's mother were friends before they were born, brought Steven donuts for his birthday. So we had donuts this morning. Latex mosquitoes is hashtag raid message. Yeah. Like, I had a dentist here who even just a few years ago, every time I went to see them, like, they'd walk into the room and the assistant would be like, don't put on those gloves. I put you these ones here because she's allergic. Every time he'd still reach for the latex and put them on and then be like, wait, oops. And then he'd take them off and put on the ones that I could have. Thanks, Adri. I hope you have a good day too.
Adri's here.
Yeah, and Jules resubbed. I just read that.
Oh.
Welcome back.
Hi. Yeah.
Pseudobite wanted you to say something for John's stream. But I read that already, but if you...
Okay. Sorry. Yeah, it's been a long time since I've had to use the bathroom, like, during
Ouch.
breakfast stream.
Coffee.
Although I am grateful that it happened during a stream where we're both on camera.
Not just a Steven stream.
Yeah, not like a First 20 stream.
Yeah.
Because, like, yeah, occasionally I have to go pee. Okay, good. Occasionally I gotta go pee, and, like, I've heard whisperings that the chair may be talking. But I've never been like, alright, I gotta go to the bathroom for, like, 15 minutes. Because that's asking a lot of the chair. It's asking a whole lot of the chair. Although, not breaking TOS, because as long as something is happening on stream, as long as the stream is being tended to, it's fine. Maybe one day. Maybe one day, someday, I'll go live, it'll just be the chair. For like 2 hours. I'm never even there. And it ends with me walking in and being like, Chair, are you streaming? And then the stream cuts. It's not a bad idea. Alright, let me read this thing. 500 Studebyte. I had an idea for a thing for John's stream. Can I get you to say, fine, just play your stupid music, and hey, I was listening to that. Yes. Here, you want a clean feed?
You should mute alerts.
It's nothing coming through right now.
Okay.
Fine, just play your stupid music. And, hey, I was listening to that. Things you didn't expect to get. Steven doing voice work. Oh, this I probably should mute for this. There is a wizard that everyone can stand, and that is Chazz. Oh, he is the man. He has a magic rod he waves, and then things they are fixed. If there are bugs, then he squishes them, and they get nixed. Did you hear what the word I used? Mm-hmm. Did you hear what word? Stan. S-T-A-N. I learned about that word, and then I used it in casual conversation like it was no big thing. Mm-hmm. Like, no big thing. I'm just... Because that means that you like something. Yeah, casual conversation during a live stream singing. I also said magic rock. Well, that's like a real thing. That's like they're like, they're black and they got the little white tip.
A magician wand?
Yeah, a magic rod. Is that what you call them? Magician? I guess it is a wand. Wand is a better word than magic rod. You know what? I'm just gonna stop talking about that. From Pickletron, thank you. He says, happy birthday, Chazz, even though it was yesterday. It's fine. Better late than never. And also, we weren't streaming yesterday, so would have been hard to do yesterday. No one calls it a magic rod. I am increasingly aware of the fact that it is it's a wand. It's called a wand, and may not have ever been a rod. 30 bits from Line Rider. Update on potentially dropping my major. I didn't. I talked with my professor, and he gave me good information about the future of the class and the major and the recommendations for me. Okay, cool. I'm not going to say good, because I'm not going to address that is a good or bad thing. I'm just going to say it's good that you did what was best for you. Other people might be in a similar situation, and maybe the best thing for them would be to drop their major. I'm just glad that you got the information necessary
to make a decision.
To make the decision, because that's the most important part. And I'm glad that you have an outcome that, you're happy with. Good. That's good. Again, I just like whenever, we get the information from folks and they talk about, something that's going on in their life, and then we get, the follow-up, whether that's later in the week or, next week or whatever. That's actually one of my favorite things about Breakfast Stream, is that, yeah, it's an individual stream, but really it's kind of like an ongoing... It's like an ongoing story of life. Not only our lives, but the lives of those watching. It's kind of a weird show. 3 months from Zeta Program. It says, 3 months, eh? I really like joining Breakfast Stream since it helps anchor me down to reality. I tend to get myself lost in thought, so this helps. I relate to that. There's definitely times where I need to be a little more grounded.
Yeah.
So I'm glad that this can be that for you. Then you bit some shit off. Dentists using latex mosquitoes. There's your nightmare fuel for today, everyone. Were you just talking about all of your...
Someone asked how I found out I had a latex allergy, and I said I had been at the dentist. And then I had a reaction. And then I found out it was because of the gloves. And then we were also talking about bugs, and I had mentioned mosquitoes and how I'm allergic to them. And then
did you tell
someone
them
in chat
how
said
allergic you are?
Mosquitoes, and then I inserted it without thinking.
Because Mal's extremely allergic to bugs. Not like death allergic, but like the whelps that she gets are ridiculous.
Yeah.
Like
$50.
Like they are huge. Like if I get a mosquito bite, I'll be like, okay. But Mal's are like this big, and I've never seen anything quite like that. They're huge.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Same, Thomas?
Oh, really? Yeah, we're learning. One of the things that just I kind of came to a realization recently is that Mao is just really sensitive.
Yeah.
Because your optometrist said this recently.
Yeah, she called me sensitive. Not like in a down-putting way. She just, something she observed about what I was complaining about with my vision.
Yeah, like Mal's body is very sensitive to very, like, minor things. And only after hearing the optometrist say that did I start to, like... I was like, that is a really good way of putting this. And it's true, because her eyes are...
Same Sapphire Becca.
Her eyes are super sensitive.
Yeah.
To even just, like, the tiniest of changes. And she notices these things that, like, most people wouldn't notice.
One of my eyes sees slightly more red, and the other sees slightly more, like, yellowy green. Like, if I cover one eye and then I do this and look back and forth, like, it's just slightly tinted different. And I told my optometrist, and she goes, oh yeah, that's normal. Most people don't notice.
So, like, she can notice that sort of thing. Like with the bug bites, I mean, it's just, these reactions are really, really big. There's some other things, too. Yeah, so it's starting to make a little more sense. And this is like a very recent, like, epiphany that I had, like, hearing that. I was like, wait, that makes sense. There's a lot of things in Mal's life where that's the best way to describe it. I'm the opposite, really. I don't notice things very well. And a lot of things don't really bother me. Mm-hmm. Something has to be, like, really wrong.
Smells, though.
I am very sensitive to smells.
Mm-hmm.
Really sensitive to smells. I think I get that from my mom, to be honest, because she also can, like... My dad says that she has a...
Thomas says, and matte surfaces.
Yeah. I don't know, man. I don't want to touch that stuff. That's just... That's not for me. It's not for me. But smells and particular textures.
Yeah.
I really hate that. My elbow. I don't have great news. I think at this point we're starting to push like 3 weeks that I've been having problems with my arm, and it's not better. Like, yesterday was bad, actually. Yesterday was a really bad day. So I'm probably gonna give it a few more days here, and then if there's still problems, then I might see someone. I don't know.
An orthopedic surgeon. Not necessarily for surgery, but
just to
they're
see
who you see for.
Yeah. So at the beginning part, I had a lot going on with my elbow specifically, and then after a week, most of my problems were down in my hand, and I've had pains and stuff in my hands and my fingers that were very reminiscent of the pains I had like 2 years ago or whatever. So I started wearing the hand brace. Actually, I spent the last few days wearing that, and then I started getting pains in like the meat part. I don't know what the term for this is, so I'm gonna call it the meat part of the thumb. So I actually decided today I was gonna skip that. So I'm just trying to be gentle with the stupid thing, but I'm pissed because why? Because I have been gentle with the thing and I'm still having problems with my hands. So, you know, I'm just trying to be careful with it, but I don't know. Bodies are terrible.
Body, year.
Thank you, Mallory. Where was I? One Weird Cat gifted a few subs here. One to Purple Pollo. One to Adri. Appreciate that. And then also resubs for 3 months and says, Twitch is being weird today. I think it needs a nap. I had to manually resub before this showed up. Well, Twitch is being weird is, I mean, that can be applied for a lot of different days. There's a lot of things that Twitch does, and I'm like, what are you doing? Stop. Just stop. Either way, appreciate the resub and then also the gift subs. 300 bits from Gold Mage. Evil dentists using latex tiger mosquitoes on people. Do tell us more about them. Who are they? What are their goals? And why are they so evil? That's definitely some sort of like comic book villain thing.
Yeah.
500 from a Xenoblade fanatic. Got a haircut for the first time in 4-ish years yesterday. Also haven't mentioned this at all, but you can just refer to me as Xeno. Okay. I will try and do that.
Steven's better at remembering that than I am, but
I will try to do that. Also 4 years, that's a long time.
yeah.
That's a really long time. I'm trying to think how long my hair would be. In 1 year, I gained... How many inches do you think I gained?
About yay many.
It's about 8 inches, maybe?
Yeah.
Yeah, 4 years. I'd be at like over 2 feet long. Anyway, cool. I bet that feels good though. I bet that feels good because like if you've decided that you're getting a haircut and you have hair that long, it's probably a nice sizable.
Yeah.
Zena says I got like a foot off of my hair. Yeah, so that's a big amount. One of the things that I'm realizing, and my heart goes out to everyone that has hair, I mean really longer than mine, is that it like gets caught on things. Like sitting up in bed now, like if I'm sitting up reading or whatever, like my hair is stuck
Behind your shoulders?
behind my shoulders, and whenever I go to like move my head, it pulls and I go, and then I have to like lean forward.
Do you see why I react like I do sometimes when you're on my hair?
Yeah, and Mouse hair is pretty long at this point, so there's been times that like we've been in bed, and I'm really not that close to Mao. I'm really not. But she'll go to shift and she'll go, you're on my hair, you're on my hair, you're on my hair. And I'm like, I'm not even near you. How did this happen?
Over and you're just like on the very ends of some of my hair.
But also in the past, like you've had your hair as short
My hair's
as like
not been this long.
like this. Your hair's been down to here
yeah,
before.
like
so you just
shoulder length.
Yeah. Oh, and that's the other problem. Yeah, that the doodle said. I keep bending forward to eat and oops hair. Yeah, that's yeah.
I had paint on my hair the other day. I had it in a ponytail, and the ponytail was forward, and like just the very ends were in the paint, and I was like, shoot.
Because I had been wearing the headband, and it finally is now to the point where the headband, I mean, yeah, it keeps it out of my eyes, but it's down here, so now I really need the ponytail in order to keep it out of my way. Yeah, it sucks. So I'll be wearing the ponytail for the foreseeable future because it just life is too difficult if I don't. Like it's just in. Yeah, it goes into what you're doing. See, I don't have that problem yet. If I waited long enough, the ponytail would do that. But right now, just this crap, I'm like. It's easier to have your hair short. It's just a lot easier.
Yeah.
So I'm starting to I'm starting to see the very big differences because I've never had it anywhere close to this long, so I'm getting a chance to experience it personally. And yeah, it's
We have new
it's hard.
hair ties coming soon. We ordered.
Yeah, Mal said. So I don't know. That's the other thing. I don't know anything about this world. I've been using one of Mal's hair ties, and she goes, "Oh, well, they have special hair ties for you and like your hair texture." And I'm like, "Why?" She goes, "Well, this is the ones you're using are for mine hair, which is for fine hair, and they have it for like hair that's like yours." And I was like, "Oh, but why?" Isn't it just a rubber
like,
band?
it'll slip out, or if you have it tied real tight and you wear it in like the same spot every day, day in and out, you get like a
little crimp in your
little
hair.
crimp in your hair. Yeah.
Oh. Okay. Again, I'm learning. It's only been in the last few months that I started using conditioner. I used to use it when I was much younger, actually. I don't remember what age, but like...
And then you stopped.
Yeah, at one point I was like, I don't need this.
Radio Dread says, my hair ties break all the time. I think I might need to invest in ones with better quality. Maybe. My hair ties are the ultra thin ones that I use. And I've noticed, because I bought them a long time ago, that as I finally get through... I've had them for so long that the latex inside, which is wrapped so it doesn't bother me if I use it, just like degrades and falls apart.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what's happening with mine. They break all the time because of that.
You got the ribbon kind now.
And yeah, I've been using the ribbon hair ties and I really like them.
Again, so much to this world that I've never even considered. 500 bits from Radio Dread. Bits for donuts. Donut bits. Thank you. They were good donuts.
They were very
I
good.
haven't had donuts in forever. 300 bits from Incarnado. Grandpa, you were right on Chazz using a rod. In the Final Fantasy series, Black Mages use rods as their primary weapon. Okay. It's been a while since I've played a Final Fantasy game,
Yeah.
but I vaguely remember that.
Kepler, don't roll off the couch.
I caught him. I'm catching him so he doesn't do it. You're nuts. You're nuts. 510 bits from Mr. Gameboy says, so on the topic of allergies, my friend has so many. The big ones are peanuts, making it so she can't have Chick-fil-A, and she's also allergic to red meats, so she can't have burgers or bacon or anything. Yeah, that's a little...
Yeah.
That would be a little rough. I mean, there's plenty of like, there's a lot of food in the world, right?
Yeah.
There is food. But also that would be...
Yeah.
That, I mean, taking out red meat does take out a huge chunk of, like, your options. As far as I know, I don't think I have any allergies. You would know. I don't know myself, but do you know about me? Who am I?
No, you don't really have any trouble.
I don't think I do. I mean, I clearly have, like, bowel issues that are unresolved, and who knows what the cause of all of those are. And I tried to figure it out. Was it last year?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
You tried to do like a
last year was
food
when
tracker to see what...
I did that, and I also took those whatever they are, the special pills. What are they called? They turn my poop white.
What's it called?
I don't remember what it's called. Probiotics.
That's it.
Yeah, chat's got me. Yeah, I took those probiotics for like 2 or 3 weeks. Yeah. Satsy's not wrong. Not right, but not wrong. Yeah. Yeah, I the probiotic art. That was nuts. But I mean, also I was, self diagnosing,
yeah. Mm-hmm.
Because there's a lot of different probiotic strains, and I was basically looking up the ones that corresponded to my specific symptoms, and there's still multiple strains for that, and I chose the one that seemed to be, most popular, and a lot of people had good results with. And over the course of 2 to 3 weeks, my stool became almost completely white, and I felt...
Alexis says, Steven, I'm eating.
I felt like dying. So your mileage may vary. At some point, I'll figure out what's wrong with me, because there's something wrong with me. I mean, there clearly is, but you know, still living. Learning about some Action Cat. I've never broken anything, and man, crutches are hard. Thank you for the laughs. I'm sorry about that. I remember being in was it middle or high school, and I had a friend who was on crutches for a while, and like helping them like do different things and get like in and out of cars and stuff like that. It's difficult. 10 months from Rainy Days 48. Happy birthday to my sister who is watching this with me today.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday. Hope your sister's doing well. 30 bits from Caber 29. I've had issues with my right arm for years, from my shoulder to my wrist. Eventually I needed wrist surgery. Orthopedic surgeon is the best source of help for that. Well, I mean, I guess everyone is in the same boat. No one wants it to come to surgery, right? So
Well, their offices do, like, physical therapy.
Yeah.
And if you just have, like, inflammation and you've really irritated it, like a anti-inflammatory shot might help or something.
Yeah. Okay, well, I'm still trying to be gentle with it. I'm still trying to use it as little as I can, but also, like, I have work, you know, and my work is this. You know, I got to use the mouse and everything. You don't use the mouse as much as you use, I guess, the keyboard, but you kind of use them in tandem, so keeping my fingers crossed. 13 months from Just NTB, who says 13! 30 bits from Tipsy Taj. I bought the Pro Controller for my Switch the other day and wondered why I didn't get one sooner, especially since I've played Xbox games for most of my life.
I love the Pro Controller for the Switch.
It's a solid controller. Mm-hmm. I also really liked the Wii U one.
Yeah.
The Wii U one, I think, is the lightest controller I've ever used in my life. It has no weight to it at all, but I really like the Switch Pro Controller. And 305 bits for Pickletron with the 8-bit fine. Starring. Alright, let's announce the things that are happening today. What is today? Tuesday.
Tuesday.
Pikmin continues. Extra Life continues. There's only 2 games left. Today's is Me Channel. The game that's not even a game.
Yeah. We
turned it into a game.
Yeah.
You rolled beans while I was in the bathroom, right?
I did.
Okay. I thought maybe you did. Yeah, so tune in 6 p.m. Eastern on Steven Plays for the Me Channel, which is exciting. If you missed that part of Extra Life, I think we took requests from chat and then tried to, I think it was me and Jeff, and we tried to like recreate me's based on those
now I
people.
Remember.
And then tomorrow will be baseball, and then that's it. That's the end of Extra Life. It's all done.
Yep.
It's taken a little bit to get through, but it's finally all done. And then I'll have to sort the playlist again. I can't sort the playlist until they're all out, because of the way I have it, where they're in chronological order, but that it's reversed from year. So like I can't sort it until they're all done. So I'll try and remember to do that. If I don't remember by the weekend, someone tweet me and be like, hey, you need to do that. Nothing replacing Extra Life slot. So it'll just be Pikmin for now. And that's actually a pro for me, because every additional thing I add is just more time for scheduling, which takes forever.
Yeah, scheduling takes forever.
So that'll be freed up, but at some point there could be some more stuff in that slot. We'll see. Otherwise, Mal's working on her next thing. We don't really have anything to announce.
No.
For that yet. We're
No.
hopeful for this weekend. And today, unless something goes terribly awry, today we should be recording mail.
Yeah, that was the plan.
So that doesn't mean that it'll necessarily be out this week. Almost certainly won't, because I won't give it to Dan until Thursday. But we'll be recording both January and February mail. So those will both be getting recorded today. So I'm excited about that. any other little things?
No.
I think that's it.
That's it.
I think that's it. Oh, I know a thing. The store.
Your store?
Yeah.
Coffee.
Steve on StephenShop.com. It went down for like a day or two. It's back up. It's back up. There was a weird issue on Teespring's end, but it's fixed. So if you were trying to pull it up the other day and you're like, why are things missing? I had asked the same question, but it seems to be back and working. So for instance, if you were trying to get a like a hot chocolate mug before they leave, because they're leaving at the end of March, it's available again.
Sapphire Rebecca says, Redbubble sale. Yeah, I believe it's 15% off. They tend not to email me until later in the day, and it's frustrating if I don't see it.
They need a person.
Yeah.
They need like a dedicated person that's all they do.
Yeah.
You'd think that they could do that.
I don't know if I just get the emails late. I don't know. I don't know what the code is offhand, but if you go to my store, it should be a banner at the top that tells you.
Okay. And Pickletron, heard. Got you. All right. That's it. Thanks for being here this morning. Thanks again to Austin for bringing us coffee and donuts. It was really sweet. And hope you all have a great day. That's it, right? I keep feeling like I'm forgetting something.
That's because you weren't here when I ran beans.
Is that what I'm thinking of? Maybe.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. I guess that's it. I had this weird feeling of like, did I forget to say something? It's probably fine. Probably another vlog today. I'll try. Things are a little busy, but it's good. Things are getting done. It's a good feeling. Things are good. All right, I'm done for real. Y'all have a good one.